Hello, I'm Dr. Jocelyn, and today I want to talk to you about a topic that affects the quality of life, confidence, and intimacy of a large number of men after the age of 60, yet very few dare to speak about it openly. I'm referring to changes in erectile function. If you've also noticed that your erections are no longer as firm or as spontaneous as they used to be, that it takes more effort to maintain them, or that the spark of desire seems to have faded, I want you to know that you are not alone. It's one of the most common concerns I see in my geriatric practice, and also one of the most misunderstood. Most men assume it's an inevitable decline, simply the price they have to pay for the years they've lived, and they resign themselves to silence. But today, I want to reveal something that science has been uncovering, and that I've been able to confirm directly in my own practice. Many of these problems have a concrete functional and biochemical root that we can address, and there is a simple, accessible, and surprisingly powerful ally that can make a dramatic difference by restoring the internal environment your body needs for optimal sexual function. I'm talking about baking soda. Yes, the very same one you probably have in your kitchen cabinet right now. But I'm not referring to a magic or miraculous remedy. What I want to do is explain to you in full detail the science behind how this mineral compound, used correctly, can influence a cascade of processes inside your body to support vascular, hormonal, and nervous health, the three fundamental pillars of firm erections and renewed vitality. Before we dive into the 10 specific benefits, it's crucial that you understand what happens in your body after age 60 that affects your sexual performance. It's not just about testosterone levels, it's a much more complex picture. Your vascular system, responsible for delivering a powerful flow of blood to the penis, can become more rigid. The arteries stiffen slightly, and the endothelium, that delicate inner lining of your blood vessels, can stop producing enough nitric oxide, the key molecule that tells the arteries to relax and fill with blood. On top of that, a state of silent inflammation and mild metabolic acidity can develop, interfering with hormonal signals and nerve function. Baking soda acts precisely as a master regulator to correct this acid-base imbalance, triggering a series of benefits that go straight to the heart of the problem. Let me tell you about Hernando, a 69-year-old patient who came to my office completely discouraged. For years, he had been feeling that his body was no longer responding the way it used to. His energy was at rock bottom, and his intimate life with his wife was practically a distant memory. He had tried expensive supplements with disappointing results. I proposed a simple protocol, beginning each morning with a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda dissolved in a glass of warm water with the juice of half a lemon. Nothing else in his life changed dramatically. 3 weeks later, Hernando came back for his follow-up, and I noticed something different about him the moment he walked through the door. He said, "Doctor, it's as if my body has woken up. Not only do I have more energy during the day, but I've started experiencing sensations and responses I thought were gone forever. It's the first time in years that I feel like my body is listening to me." This change was not the product of suggestion, it was pure biochemistry in action. Now let's break down exactly how it works. Benefit 1. Balances blood pH, improving overall circulation. Your blood has a slightly alkaline pH, around 7. 4. With age, the modern diet, and chronic stress, our bodies can tend toward a state of mild metabolic acidosis. This means the blood becomes slightly more acidic than ideal. An acidic environment is hostile to good circulation. It makes the blood thicker and causes red blood cells to lose flexibility, making it harder for them to flow through the smallest vessels, including the delicate arteries of the penis. Baking soda is a natural alkalizing agent. When ingested, it helps neutralize this excess acidity in the blood, restoring an optimal pH. This allows the blood to become more fluid and red blood cells to regain their ability to deform and reach every corner of your body, including erectile tissue. It's like unclogging a congested highway. Suddenly the traffic, in this case the blood, can flow freely to its destination. This was the fundamental change Hernando experienced, a global circulatory improvement that showed up everywhere, including where it mattered most. Benefit 2. Improves oxygen delivery to erectile tissue by optimizing hemoglobin. The firmness of an erection depends on maximum filling of oxygenated blood in the corpora cavernosa of the penis. The molecule responsible for carrying that oxygen is hemoglobin, which lives inside your red blood cells. In a slightly acidic environment, hemoglobin has more difficulty releasing the oxygen it carries. It clings to it. By correcting the pH with baking soda, you allow hemoglobin to release its precious oxygen cargo right where it's needed. This means every red blood cell that reaches the penis during arousal delivers more oxygen, which is essential for tissue health, energy production, and ultimately for achieving and maintaining optimal rigidity. Think of it like every delivery truck. The red blood cell, arriving at the job site, the penis, and unloading all of its materials, the oxygen, instead of just a portion. Benefit 3. Reduces vascular inflammation. Inflammation is a silent enemy of your blood vessels. It damages the endothelium and promotes atherosclerosis, the narrowing and hardening of the arteries. Baking soda has been shown in studies to have anti-inflammatory properties. By reducing the overall acid load, it decreases the production of inflammatory cytokines in the bloodstream. This results in cleaner, more flexible arteries that are less prone to inflammation. I remember Samuel, a 71-year-old patient who suffered from mild hypertension. His numbers improved with medication, but his erectile function did not. After incorporating baking soda, not only did his blood pressure stabilize even further, but after 1 month of the protocol, he joyfully reported that his spontaneous morning erections had returned. This is a classic sign of improved vascular health. Morning erections are a thermometer of the health of your pelvic arteries, and their return indicates that the inflammation affecting them has decreased. Benefit 4. Supports natural nitric oxide production by protecting the endothelium. Nitric oxide is the fundamental signaling molecule for erection. It is the gas your endothelium releases to tell the smooth muscle cells in the penile arteries to relax, allowing blood to flood the area. An acidic, inflamed environment damages the endothelium and reduces its ability to produce this crucial molecule. By creating a more alkaline and less inflamed internal environment with baking soda, you are protecting and preserving the health of your endothelium. You are giving it the perfect environment to manufacture nitric oxide efficiently when it receives the signal. It's not that baking soda contains nitric oxide, it creates the ideal conditions for your own body to produce it naturally and abundantly. If you're finding this information eye-opening and want to keep discovering how small changes in your routine can transform your intimate health and overall vitality after 60, I invite you to subscribe to this channel right now. I regularly share specialized knowledge in geriatric medicine and men's wellness that can help you take back control of your health. Benefit 5. Detoxifies the liver and kidneys by reducing the acid burden. Your liver and kidneys are your body's primary filters, responsible for processing and eliminating toxins. Many of the byproducts of these processes are acidic. When there is an acid overload from diet or metabolism, these organs can become fatigued. Baking soda acts as direct support for these organs, helping to neutralize acids and facilitating their elimination through the urine, which becomes slightly more alkaline. A liver that functions optimally is crucial for metabolizing hormones correctly, including the balance between testosterone and estrogen. By detoxifying and relieving the workload of these organs, you are indirectly supporting a healthier and more favorable hormonal profile for your masculine vitality. Benefit 6. Reduces sugar cravings and supports the loss of abdominal fat. Excess abdominal fat, especially visceral fat, is a double problem for male sexual health. First, this fat produces an enzyme called aromatase that converts your precious testosterone into estrogen, the female hormone, disrupting your hormonal balance. Second, it actively promotes systemic inflammation. Acidic blood tends to go hand in hand with cravings for sugar and processed foods, which in turn acidify the body even further. It's a vicious cycle that's hard to break. Baking soda, by helping to regulate pH, can significantly reduce these sugar cravings. By stabilizing the internal environment, your body stops demanding fast, acidic fuel. Over time, this facilitates the loss of stubborn abdominal fat, which translates into less conversion of testosterone to estrogen and therefore better levels of free testosterone available to drive your libido and erectile function. Benefit 7. Improves the sensitivity of testosterone receptors. Having decent testosterone levels is useless if your body's cells can't hear it. With age, there can be what we call testosterone resistance. The receptors become less sensitive, less receptive to the signal. Metabolic acidosis is one of the factors that directly contributes to this resistance. By correcting the pH with baking soda, you are improving the environment in which these receptors operate, increasing their sensitivity. It's like cleaning the ears of your cells. Suddenly, the testosterone signal, which was previously just a whisper, becomes a clear, strong message that cells can understand and act on. This translates into better sexual desire and a better physical response to stimulation. Benefit 8. Increases mitochondrial energy in smooth muscle cells of the penis. Mitochondria are the power plants of your cells. The process of blood filling during an erection requires a significant energy expenditure from the smooth muscle cells of the penis. An acidic environment seriously impairs mitochondrial function, reducing its production of energy, that is, ATP. Baking soda helps create an optimal alkaline environment for mitochondria to operate at full capacity. This means the cells responsible for erection have more energy available to perform their function, relaxing and allowing massive blood filling, contributing to a faster, more sustained, and firmer erection. Benefit 9. Calms the nervous system by balancing the sympathetic and parasympathetic. Anxiety and stress are powerful enemies of erection. The sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight system, shuts down blood flow to areas considered non-essential, like the penis, prioritizing the brain and muscles. To have an erection, you need the parasympathetic system, the rest and digest system, to dominate, as it's the one that opens the gates of pelvic blood flow. Chronic stress acidifies the body and keeps the sympathetic system in a constant state of hyperactivation. Baking soda, by helping to reduce overall acidity, has an indirect calming effect on the nervous system, fostering a better balance between both systems and allowing the parasympathetic to act when needed. This reduces performance anxiety and naturally facilitates the sexual response. Benefit 10. Amplify its effects with lemon or apple cider vinegar. Although it may seem contradictory, lemon and apple cider vinegar, despite being acidic by nature, have a powerful alkalizing effect once metabolized inside the body. Combining them with baking soda not only makes the mixture more pleasant to drink, but creates an effervescent reaction that can facilitate absorption. Additionally, lemon is rich in vitamin C and bioflavonoids, which are potent antioxidants that further protect the vascular endothelium. This synergistic combination is far more powerful than taking baking soda alone. The protocol is simple, but must be followed consistently. Dissolve between 1/4 and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of warm water. Add the juice of 1/2 fresh lemon or a teaspoon of organic apple cider vinegar and take it on an empty stomach every morning, waiting at least 20 minutes before breakfast. Bernardo, 74 years old, reported feeling more alive and experiencing responses he thought he had lost after just 1 month of following this morning ritual to the letter. Now I want to take you to a deeper level of understanding, because there is an additional benefit of baking soda that is rarely discussed openly, yet I consider it fundamental for men over 60. Its impact on the biochemistry of oxidative stress and the mitochondrial function specific to erectile tissue. Let me explain something that can completely change your perspective. Every cell in the corpora cavernosa of your penis, those spongy structures that fill with blood during arousal, contains thousands of mitochondria. These mitochondria don't just produce energy for the erectile process, they also generate crucial signaling molecules for the entire process. However, with age, these mitochondria become less efficient and produce more harmful byproducts called reactive oxygen species, or ROS. When the body's pH is slightly acidic, as I explained earlier, this problem is significantly magnified. Raws damage cell membranes, proteins, and even the DNA of penile cells, leading to what we call mitochondrial dysfunction of erectile tissue. This is where baking soda performs one of its most elegant and least known actions. By normalizing pH, it creates an environment where mitochondria can function more cleanly and efficiently. It significantly reduces the production of these harmful rows. But there's something even more fascinating. The bicarbonate ion participates directly in the Krebs cycle, the fundamental process by which mitochondria generate energy. By providing this essential component, you are literally giving the cells of your penis the building materials they need to produce energy optimally. This translates not only into firmer erections, but into better recovery and responsiveness, because the cells have more energy reserves available. Another aspect that deserves our full attention is the connection between gut health and sexual health. This may sound surprising at first, but your gut microbiome, that ecosystem of bacteria in your intestine, plays a crucial role in the production of neurotransmitters and in the regulation of inflammation that affects your entire body, including your erectile function. An acidic gut environment promotes the growth of pathogenic bacteria and fungi like Candida, while it harms the beneficial bacteria you need. These harmful bacteria produce toxins called endotoxins that filter into the bloodstream in a condition known as leaky gut and trigger a chain inflammatory response that reaches all the way to the blood vessels of the penis. Baking soda, when taken on an empty stomach, helps temporarily neutralize the acidity in the upper gastrointestinal tract, creating a more favorable environment for beneficial bacteria. But its most important effect at the intestinal level is preventing what's known as bacterial translocation. When intestinal pH is too acidic, the tight junctions between intestinal cells can weaken, allowing bacteria and toxins to pass into the bloodstream. Baking soda helps maintain the integrity of this protective barrier. Fewer toxins in the blood means less systemic inflammation, which directly translates to a healthier vascular endothelium and better nitric oxide production. It's like building a wall of protection around your vascular health from the inside out. I also want to talk to you about a phenomenon I frequently observe in my practice: subclinical insulin resistance in older men. Even if you're not diabetic, many men develop a degree of insulin resistance with age, a state in which cells don't respond adequately to this hormone. This creates a silent, vicious cycle. Insulin resistance promotes abdominal fat accumulation, and that abdominal fat worsens insulin resistance even further. And what does this have to do with erections? Everything. Insulin resistance directly damages the vascular endothelium and reduces nitric oxide production. Furthermore, cells with insulin resistance have less efficient mitochondria and produce more oxidative stress. The baking soda protocol I've described acts as a natural insulin sensitizer. By improving blood and tissue pH, cells gradually regain their ability to respond adequately to insulin. This breaks the vicious cycle. Better insulin sensitivity leads to less abdominal fat accumulation, which means less testosterone to estrogen conversion and less generalized inflammation. It's a positive domino effect that begins with that simple glass of water with baking soda every morning. Finally, let me tell you about a mechanism that few people consider, but that in my clinical experience is highly relevant: the effect of baking soda on blood viscosity. With age, blood tends to become more viscous and more prone to clotting. This is particularly problematic for erections, since they depend on rapid and abundant blood flow. Metabolic acidosis significantly worsens this viscosity. Baking soda, by improving pH, makes the blood less acidic and therefore less viscous, facilitating that crucial surge of blood to the penis during arousal. It's like changing the old thick oil in a motor for something new and fluid. Everything works with less friction and more efficiency. These mechanisms I've just described, mitochondrial protection, gut health, insulin sensitivity, and blood viscosity, work in conjunction with the 10 benefits I already mentioned, creating a powerful synergy that explains why men like Bernardo report such significant transformations. It is not an isolated effect, but a reconnection of multiple body systems that had been functioning suboptimally for years. It's crucial that you understand this is not an instant solution. Your body needs time to correct months or even years of acid imbalance. The first benefits, like more energy and better digestion, can be felt within the first week. Improvements in erectile function typically require between 3 and 8 weeks of consistent, disciplined use. Patience and perseverance are absolutely key throughout this process. Finally, an important warning that as a physician, I consider it my duty to share with you. If you suffer from uncontrolled hypertension, severe cardiac or kidney problems, or if you are following a sodium-restricted diet, you should consult your doctor before trying this protocol. For the majority of men, it is safe and well tolerated when used in the appropriate doses. Your intimate vitality is a direct reflection of your internal health. By giving your body the simple but powerful support of baking soda, you are giving it the real opportunity to rebalance and function the way it was designed to. I sincerely thank you for joining me today. If this information has been valuable to you, support me with a like, subscribe to the channel, and share your experience in the comments. Your journey toward renewed vitality begins today.